Welcome back to the Artefactors Union. I am your host and foreman, Douglas Scoundrels. Today we are assembling the Syzygy Sisters, a Neverborn versatile model, and probably another one of my shortest videos ever made. Singular model containing two ladies on the same base, representing the two moons of Malifaux. So there is our artwork. Here's our render on the back. Alright, let's look at the sprue. Here's the sprue, not a whole lot here, so this should be going pretty darn fast. So let's go and cut out the body of the larger sister, and then add her leg, followed by the skirt of her dress and her head, and then we will go ahead and attach her left arm with the sword, her sister, which should be, I think, attached somewhere on her body, and then we'll add the whole thing to the base. That might change. I might secure to the base before we completely assemble everything, but we will see. Anyways, let's go ahead and look at the instructions because that's tradition, even though I don't think you really need it. And then grab these two bits first. Okay, we've got our first sister, and our leg is going to jam right in there. Should be a fairly solid connection. There's the leg. Alright, now let's do the large flowy part of her dress, which will connect in here as well as down this line. The bit in question is this one, those connection points being right here, that tooth, and this lovely connection right there. Before and after. That is our seam. How it looks like from all angles. Alright, now let's go and grab that sword arm and just glue it into her shoulder right there. Okay, that is where it fits, but also there is a connection point on the skirt right here that the sword will settle into. So it's actually probably easier to glue it in here first and then sort of guide it to the shoulder. Alright, now let's just do her head and hair, which will fit over this big space right here. There we go, although I'm not entirely sure how to fill this gap on the neck. Definitely not supposed to be there, but I didn't carve anything out to cause it, so I don't know if it's an issue with the model itself or my sprue or what. But gap filling is something I can do on my own. Alright, second to last bit, the other Syzygy sister, which is going to fit right in there. Alright. Okay, now our base, whoops, I'm going to go and throw it in the trash. The taller sister's left leg is going to fit in this hole right here. Her right leg plus part of the screw is going to be here, and the smaller sister will fit on this space. Alright, there they are on the base. I did some trimming just to kind of close the gap down here especially, but that's something you don't necessarily have to do. Just try and make sure that that foot is inside that hole enough that you don't see the peg, or at least nearly as much. But they look good. Let's put them on a base. The Syzygy Sisters are done. Hardest part for this is there's a lot of gaps and some trimming that needs done to fill those gaps in. This is one of the more gap-heavy minis I've assembled in a while, and so it's going to need some TLC if you want it to look really, really good. But with only a few bits, you can probably spend some of that time you normally do assembling it, just making sure that those gaps are nice and filled. But yeah, simple model overall, and if you don't care about gaps, extremely easy to do. So that's all I really have to say about them. I have been your foreman, Douglas Scoundrels, helping you build a better Malifaux.